and the chill came down. I am not at home in this culture. Each decade I drift farther from a center I no longer perceive as central, drowning under the vacuous waterfall of plastic crap, cramming our mall space, our head space, our life space, beyond overflowing. And when someone turns on the radio to tranquilize me with the popular music of our day, all I can do is quote Giroux's Madwoman. I assume you have some motivation for interfering in people's attempts to kill themselves. Once, music might have saved me. Once music was the center. Once music was a matter of how you sounded, not how you looked. I remember a day. Pretty women in blue suede shoes tossing great balls of fire while finding their thrills on Blueberry Hills, with little country boys who could play it so well, wearing rattlesnakes for neckties. That would be the day. And what a day it was. Sympathetic to the devil, in a purple haze, guess who came together? My generation, rising from the teenage wasteland, meeting at the crossroads in a white room on the dark side of the moon, GLORIA, on exultant radio. I remember music, opening our bodies and minds to insubordination, pure imagination, liberation from inhibition, pure libidination. We were granted freedom to speak, to twist, to shout, to scream, to wear our love like heaven. I remember at 13 years old, full of trouble, hearing the inevitable scream forward. A paranoid Black Sabbath attitude. The soundtrack for my life beginning. Music still meant something in 1970. But then, somewhere along the way, executives got wind of it. Someone in a suit said, "Hey, there's cash to be made here." And that is the day I should have had a t-shirt made stating Aussie loud, "Music is not a business." When the revolution became the industry, and all the best tunes were recycled to sell running shoes, I knew we had completely lost the beat. Frank Zappa made the only pertinent point. The cultural approach to music now taken in the Western world is entirely designed to reach a not especially bright 14-year-old girl named Debbie, living in Middle America, the standardized listener with interchangeable ears, this one for Debbie music, and this one for Debbie music. So efficient. A solid business plan entirely solving the problem of managing sound commodity production while ensuring the industry reaches the broadest-based consumer. Fat-ass Debbie somewhere in Kentucky. I need hope. The packaged world has failed us. Let us try to refine the real. Who plays metal in Winnipeg today? Without labels, without contracts. What names can we turn to in this, our age of latter-day soul suckers? Search, and you will find Chuck Labossiere, a Rasputin angel, Abhorrupt, Damascus, Dissolution. Learn that evil survives, still in of human bondage, rage with tyrant's demise. Grandmaster, Hoarfrost, Leica came back from space and moved beyond the blue event horizon with Annex Theory. Give us our psychotic gardening! Our search begins, appropriately enough, in a church. CFR, Crescent Fort Rouge. Only a united church would stage death metal concerts in its pulpit. They even hired me once. Reverend Bill presiding. I hear a glimmer of what still should be, but more than that, I see the man in yellow pants dancing. A ragged fool from a torn and beer-stained tarot deck designed by Aleister Crowley for his private misuse. A man perhaps as old as I am, grizzled and fey, possessed by a twitching within, unable to hold his twisted limbs still, as long as a dart of rhythm harpoons through his skull from ear to ear. In brilliant, sunny day, lemon balm, tattered, battered, but blinding, yellow pants. The man in yellow pants, dancing. And when the band finishes playing, I follow him out the door, to the next stops on the pilgrimage. First to Osborne Street and the zoo, where they'll let anybody in to film the Saturday Night Madness. Then north to Albert Street and the Death Trap. Down, down, down to the Death Trap, to hear music unfiltered by acoustics, caressed by concrete distortion, guitar breakdowns ruling the night. Bands play here, never hoping to see $1, playing for the mere fact of it. The spirit is here, but my body suffers for it. There comes a moment when the ringing levels out the singing. All that is left is the hot light of white noise. Stumbling back to the street, snow bullets at painful angles to seeing, filling the gap in the exchange after midnight. The only motion leading me on, the star-bright thief with bandy legs, dancing in yellow pants. We find the Royal Albert. Mumbling a profane password, the man in the yellow pants dances us in. The final shrine of the Prairie Power Pilgrim, the Albert, once again, has seen better days. Yellow Pants disappears in a silent crowd. No band plays on the stage where a band should always play. I find a wall to lean on and a sympathetic waitress. I thought the Albert had to close. It did, she says, handing me not 1 bottle, not 2, but 6. This is the anniversary concert, always secret and always at the Albert. They can't keep us out. The anniversary concert. The anniversary of the night Renegade Frost disappeared in the snow. The band begins to play and I begin to drink, piecing together the story. Renegade Frost were the fiercest originals ever to explode on the city's music scene. Last seen New Year's Eve, 1970. Decades ahead of their time, they were magicians. Cesis was created to investigate their lyrics. Being true originals, naturally they hated each other. It was only a matter of time before the band broke up, or mutual murder became the order of the day. But then, one night, arguing poisonously, they loaded their gear into their rust-hole-pocked van with pentagrams and demonic buffalo painted upon its sides, and drove off into a whiteout blizzard, never to be seen or heard from again. But every winter, the night of the first blizzard in Winnipeg, those in the know gather at the Albert to commemorate their passing. Here's to Renegade Frost, then. I toast the integrity of the lost legion of the musically honorable. And I drink, and I drink, and I drink, and I drink to their memory again. Until finally, bombed beyond Bonham, I sink to the nadir of my despair. I am too old for this. My hearing is now completely gone. My sight has slurred, and I'm certain my voice would be blurry if I could manage to speak. I stumble to the door, bouncing from shoulder to shoulder. The last body I dash against rebounds off through the exit ahead of me. A flash of yellow, the man in the pants still dancing. But almost immediately I lose him. now lost, lost in the whiteout, the storm, lost in the snow. There is no vindication. I have not found salvation in music. I have only come to a sad, featureless ending. All the vitality I once celebrated, lost, lost in pre-packaged, prepubescent, pitch-adjusted, hair-driven, blue-eyed, bland, empty sameness. The cursed industry chilling me to the bone, freezing me completely out of this life. There can be no redemption. But then, through the ringing and despair, the endless whiteness of this affliction, a subtle bass line begins to throb, infectious and alive, drawing me on. Beginning to hear again, I topple forward. Somewhere, lost in the exchange, in the middle of the frozen night, in the middle of the street, they begin to play. And I hear them. I fall upon the scene. Before them, the man in yellow pants still dancing. And there, Renegade Frost performing, crammed upon the top of the demon buffalo van. The dancing man turns to greet me. I dance to bring them back, one night each year. If I ever stopped dancing, the music would end forever. The players are ancient, old, and hairy men, gray-skinned, white icicle locks dripping to their knees, mad eyes, black-rimmed and staring, jeans in tatters, but they never feel the cold. Transcendent ice vampires, drawing strength from the snows of Winnipeg to fire the night. Their music is rude. Frozen whores and the skeletons of every drunk addict and homeless loser who ever died on our streets since 1966 teeter out to join the dance. And I cannot help myself, even I, who do not dance, dance. For the length of one spectral, transforming song, we mosh swirl in mad delirium, following the crevice-deep bass, the electric lightning, razor blood-whip guitars, the off-the-Richter scale earthquake of the drums, and the singer, with the longest, whitest, straggling hair, the maddest-eyed frost ghoul of them all, with a voice like a chainsaw in the face of Justin Bieber. Give us your strangled, your soul torn, your gut ripped, and your world shredded, and we will make them whole. This is not your cultural winter. This is rock and roll. And I stagger from the scene, renewed, my eyes looking upon the world once more, in kindness and delight.